According to observers of the Vatican and the life of the Catholic Church, Saint John Paul II was described as a Pope pilgrim, Benedict XVI as a professor thinker, and Francis as a pastor and shepherd who wanted to get closer to the faithful.
Francis really changed the church in a number of ways. I mean, he's changed the whole style of being a pope. He changed the priorities of the church in terms of its pastoral practice and its public policy. He opened up the church for more conversation and debate and discussion.
As an advocate for the poor, he advanced a vision of the church as a hospital for the forgotten and marginalized. His first papal trip to the Mediterranean island of Lampedusa was emblematic of his commitment to human rights. His tenure, marked by inclusiveness and reform, also faced criticism.
Well, I think Francis's legacy is that he's opened the door to many fundamental reforms to take place in the church. I like to think of Francis as the disruptor pope. He came here as a real outsider, having never studied or worked in Rome, and he really shook things up with his approach.
Pope Francis really wanted to have conversations about the future of the church. He hosted several what are called synods in Rome, big gatherings of bishops and other Catholic leaders, often telling them to keep no topic off the table. He allowed those discussions to include controversial items such as ordaining women to the diaconate in the Catholic Church.
Pope Francis fought corruption and talked about the poison of greed that fuels conflict, saying the rich world must realize that people are more valuable than the minerals in the ground beneath them. No to corruption. Everyone says a definite no to corruption. He was particularly disgusted by scandals involving sexual abuse of minors. I wholeheartedly call for a fight against the exploitation of minors, both sexual and otherwise, on the part of all authorities and individuals, because we are dealing with abhorrent crimes that must be wiped off the face of the earth. According to an old Roman saying, a fat pope is followed by a skinny one, which means that Francis's successor will be quite different from the one he is replacing.
Francis, he was such a figure who was very much beloved by, say, those on the liberal side, without wishing to differentiate too much, but those who are on the liberal side, the chances are that the next pope will be somebody who swings the pendulum back to becoming, if not a conservative pope, but somebody who's at least more, perhaps in the middle, a more centrist figure.
While the cardinals prepare to choose his successor, Vatican experts are divided between those who expect continuity and those who foresee a change to a more centrist figure.
There's nobody like Pope Francis in the College of Cardinals. You know, we can't clone him. So it's going to be somebody with a different personality, maybe different managerial skills, different ways of presenting himself to the people. You know, there's just nobody like Pope Francis, and so we're going to have to find someone, the Holy Spirit's going to have to find somebody who can carry on his legacy.
Francis was the first pope from beyond Europe and the first Jesuit to sit on the throne of Peter. Elected in 2013, he marked his pontificate with a commitment to the most vulnerable, ecology, and interreligious dialogue. And that is how he will be remembered.